Hi, my name is Leonidas. For this ethical reflection, I'm talking about modern surveillance products, specifically neighborhood camera systems like Ring and license plate reader networks like Flock. My position is extremely simple. Even when the marketing is safety, the underlying concept is ethically wrong because it normalizes monitoring people who are not under direct suspicion from law enforcement. The situation I'm focusing on is license plate reader cameras being placed around neighborhoods and public areas. The pitch is always the same: deter crime, help recover stolen vehicles, and help police respond faster. The ethical decision at the center is whether it's acceptable to collect and store identifying information about everyone who drives by just in case it becomes useful later. To be clear, I don't even need to bring up worst case scenarios. Even the best case version is already a problem in concept. A license plate is that is tied to time and location is not nothing. It is not anonymous. A license plate is closely tied to a person's identity and location. That's before I even begin to mention the mission creep of these surveillance programs, or if you can trust them to just track license plates alone. The first principle being violated is obviously privacy. Privacy does not imply criminal activity. You do not have to be paranoid to insist on privacy. Privacy is the right to move through life without being monitored without a warrant. When surveillance is constant, privacy becomes something you have to earn instead of something you have by default. The second principle is consent and fairness. Almost nobody meaningfully consents to being tracked when they drive to school, work, church, or a friend's house. This kind of surveillance treats everyone like a potential suspect without any reasonable suspicion. That's a fairness issue. It flips the moral burden. Instead of investigating specific wrongdoings, law enforcement starts recording everyone, then deciding later who mattered. The third principle is accountability. Even if the intention starts as public safety, the system depends on who has access, how long data is stored, how it's secured, and what rules exist for misuse. If these safeguards are vague, as they are now, weak, or inconsistent, then the ethical foundation is inherently weak. These systems have already been shown to be absurdly easy to be hijacked by corrupt officials or savvy criminals as well. The only possible ethical application for mass public surveillance and artificial intelligence identification is smaller private communities that have homeowners associations or similar that get explicit consent from each and every resident or member. The obvious stakeholders are residents who want safety, but the bigger stakeholder group is just everyone who passes through surveilled areas, such as delivery people, visitors, teenagers, commuters, and people who don't have the power to opt out. Short term, the harm is that people are tracked without consent. Long term, the harm is cultural. You create a norm where being watched is just how life works. That changes behavior. People start to self censor. They feel suspicious of their neighbors. Trust gets replaced with monitoring, and there's also risk. Any system that stores large amount of data can be breached, misused, or accessed in ways it was originally intended. Even if nobody is being dramatic or evil, the structure itself creates a constant temptation to expand access and expand use. The lesson I take away from this is that professionalism and ethics can't just be follow the rules and or law. Sometimes the rules allow something that is still morally wrong. My personal code is that convenience and safety claims don't automatically justify mass collection of data. My conclusion is that these surveillance tools are not ethically neutral. Even before mission creep, even before worst case scenarios, the baseline idea is to track ordinary people just in case. That is an ethical line for me. Public security is important, but it has to be pursued in a way that doesn't strip everyone of their privacy, dignity, and treat everyone as a data point first and a human being second.